Hi, this is Paul Erlinson. I'm Director of Product Support for Lynx Studio Technology. We're here at NAMM in Anaheim 2010, showing some new products and also our products that have been around for a while. We have a demo station set up to show the capabilities of our newest product, the AES16e 50. This is a PCI Express computer audio card. You have it installed into a PC running Windows software. And what we're focusing on with this is a solution for live sound that has some unique capabilities. The way it's been typically is for live sound, you have a mixing board. You're either using the effects that are built into the mixing board if it's digital, or racks and racks outboard effects for reverb, compression, limiting, etc., etc. So one of the solutions we came up with is in connection with Waves, who released a program called Multi-Track Live recently. This is basically a host for computer plugins. We came up with a solution that makes a lot of sense for live sound, where you need A, lots of channels back and forth between your effects gear, and B, low latency, because you can't have any sort of delay in the processing of the effects, or that won't work for the artist. So what we're showing here is a computer with our AES16e 50 card and a mixing board that has AES50. Now AES50 is a new multi-channel audio protocol. The audio is carried over a single Ethernet cable, just like you get out of a consumer electronics store, Cat 5 or Cat 6. And one cable between the two devices carries up to 32 channels of I/O in both directions. That sample rate's up to 48K. At 96K, it'd be 24 channels. This is an ideal format for this use because the cable can be run a very long length. It's a single cable. It's easy to hook up. It's low latency. It's low jitter. It performs really, really well. So what we have is the computer with our card going into the mixing board, and now, just to sort of simulate a live environment, you can talk into a microphone, check, 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 and here we have the Waves processors. I've got an insert providing EQ and compression, and then we have aux sends, one sending a very high quality impulse response reverb. This is something that's way beyond the capabilities of most built-in reverb on a mixing board. This is the same stuff people are using in a higher end recording studio. And a digital delay. And so the way it works at the mixing board level is we have our source with the insert we're controlling here. The reverb returns are here. The delay returns are here. So from the mixing board, it's just like you're interacting with rack gear, but it's all being processed in the computer. So what that means is you can have 25 of these. You can have an insert for every channel. You can have aux sends of 4 different variations, chorus, delay, reverb, etc., and apply those to all the channels coming in. So not only does it mean you have a lot more effects and a much smaller space where it's much easier to connect, it's also a lot less money. Plus, you can be using the same effects that you're using in the studio. So if you recorded in Pro Tools, you were using Waves plugins for processing, you can take the same patches and parameters in the studio recording and now have that part of your live arsenal without trying to find the closest equivalent available from the plugins in your mixer and things like that. The reason it works so well is it's so many channels and it's so low latency. That's where our card comes in, getting it in and out of the computer. This is all real-time processing. We're going to the computer and back again in under 3 milliseconds of latency. So no one would notice that on stage. I mean, that's perfectly fine for reverb, even for time delays. Any of that would work perfectly well. So that's one of the main things we're focusing on now. This gives you a little sort of schematic of how the connections work, if you want to zoom in on that, and some of the benefits of working this way. And then apart from that, we're still showing the new features of our Aurora Rackmount converters. Here you can see in the rack over here, we have the Aurora 16 and the Aurora 8. A couple things that are relatively new for us. We now have a MADI card for the Aurora, so you can have up to 4 Aurora 16s providing 48 channels of I/O through a single cable for MADI. Any studios that are set up for MADI can now use the Aurora converter. We're also showing the variable trim model of the Aurora, where you can set the trim levels anywhere between +6 and +24 dBu for hitting different calibration levels. So those are all doing really well. They've all been shipping long enough to be stable and mature, and that's what we got for you. Thanks for listening.